Hello and welcome back. Today's video is going to be another ranking makeup playlist. Today's video I will be ranking all of the palettes that I got in Boxycharm. I have a whole ranking makeup playlist because I have done a lot of these type of videos, and a couple months ago I ranked my entire eyeshadow palette collection, so all of that will be in the description box if you do want to see that. And I had Boxycharm from January through June. I have since canceled, and if you want to hear about that, I did do an entire video kind of analyzing 6 months of Boxycharm and whether it was worth it or not for me. So I'll link that as well. I thought that was kind of interesting, and I was kind of surprised by the results that I got in that video. But for now, I have canceled Boxycharm just because it kind of was a lot of things coming in at once. So I have 6 eyeshadow palettes here that I got through them. One was the sign-up gift and one I purchased as an add-on. I thought I would go ahead and include those because those were palettes that at some point were included in kind of the usual Boxycharm box. Let's just get into it. Number 6, last place, is the Pretty Vulgar Nightingale palette. I will say I do like all of these palettes. None of them are bad by any means. The only reason this is in last place is that, you know, it's not the most unique color story. I mean, it is a cool toned palette and I don't have a lot of that, but as far as cool tones go, these are pretty standard type colors, like these grayish blues, you know, a taupe. You see these in a lot of different palettes as far as cool tones go. The formula is nice, although I will say these shimmers, if I don't use a wet brush, they will kind of get repeated fallout throughout the day, which I don't like that. However, if I use a wet brush, it is fine, but a few times I have forgotten, and then like throughout the day, my eyeshadow was a total mess. But you know, it is a good formula, and I don't have a ton of cool tones, although I feel like these colors I do have in other palettes. You know, this is not bad by any means. Overall, I do like it. It's just not my favorite. I do kind of think it's weird that it opens this way, although I kind of get it because it's kind of a bird cage type thing, so I get it, but I'm kind of weird about those things sometimes. However, I would say, yeah, the quality on this is good. It's not the best. I like it, just I like these other palettes better. Next up is a Zoeva palette. This is the one called the Spice of Life. And I do now have 2 Zoeva palettes. You'll see another one here because I did get them both in Boxycharm. It is a brand I was very curious about for a while, so I'm glad that I did get to try it through Boxycharm. Their formula is good, it's not amazing. Their shimmers definitely are not that pigmented compared to a lot of other brands. However, their mattes are very good. They blend quite easily, and I really do enjoy their matte formula. This palette does have a lot of shimmers, and again, that is not my favorite formula, but I do enjoy this color story. I think it is very pretty, and I am finally glad that I got to try them. The next palette is also from Zoeva, and I do like this one better. This is the Cocoa Blend, and I think that this one is just a little bit higher quality than the Spice of Life. The shimmers have a bit more pigmentation. Like this one is actually quite beautiful. And again, the mattes are fantastic. I really do like their matte formula. I just like these colors a little bit more than the Spice of Life palette, but again, I think Zoeva's formula, I would kind of describe it similar to the Pretty Vulgar. They're good, they're not amazing. I like other formulas better, but they're definitely not bad. Alrighty, so that was the bottom 3, and now we're getting into the top 3, and actually these 3 palettes are fantastic. The next one is this. This is the Dose of Colors Blushing Berries. This I did purchase as an add-on, but at some point this was included in a Boxycharm box. And I gotta say, they do sometimes have pretty cool stuff in the add-ons, and they are really cheap. This was, I think, only $12, which is pretty crazy. And I really love these Dose of Colors palettes. I have 2 others that I purchased from Ulta, and this formula seems exactly the same as those, you know. And this is beautiful. This is, you know, 5 matte shades. You have a black and then these other kind of pinky purple reddish colors. And I think this is fantastic. Like I said, I love this Dose of Colors formula. And yeah, I mean, no complaints. I really enjoy this. The only thing about these Dose of Colors palettes is I do usually like to use a metallic shade, so I will use these often in conjunction with another palette. However, I do not mind doing that, and I think these are really good palettes. Spot number 2 really surprised me. That is this Living in Color palette by Hank and Henry. And this is amazing. I am so impressed with this formula. These mattes are beautiful, very easy to blend and pigmented, and these metallics are stunning. They are very metallic and foiled, but they also have a few glitters in them. However, they stay there. They don't give you fallout throughout the day. I do usually spray my brush, you know, just in case, but I have used, I think, this shade without spraying the brush, and it was totally fine. It didn't get glitter fallout or anything like that. So yeah, I'm really surprised by this palette. I think it is really good. I'd never tried this brand before. I've mentioned before, my only complaint is that this packaging is just, seems very thick for, you know, I don't think the eyeshadows are going that deep, so I wish they had just made it a little bit thinner, but the quality on this palette is really fantastic. All right, and my number one Boxycharm palette is this, Ace Beauté. This is the Vintage Dawn. This is such a good palette. I really do like this. I did already own an Ace Beauté palette that I had purchased myself well over a year ago, and I knew that I liked their formula. This is such a pretty color story. I love, you know, very orange, the blue. It's great. I really enjoy this palette. The only thing about this formula is the shimmer metallic shades definitely need a wet brush. Without that, they tend to be a little bit chunky. However, if I spray my brush, they are so foiled and beautiful, and their matte shades blend very well. They're a little bit powdery, but not crazy powdery. And yeah, I just think this is a really nice color story, and I think the quality is great. I think this palette retails for $35, which I think is one of the more expensive ones here. I think the Hank & Henry is $27 and the Zoeva palettes are $28. But this is so nice, and I already knew I loved this brand, so it was really awesome to get to try another palette by them through Boxycharm. Alrighty, that is it for my Boxycharm palette ranking. Let us know, what are your favorite palettes that you got from Boxycharm or other subscription services? I'm curious. Like I said, I don't have Boxycharm anymore, but maybe I will sign up again at some point, and I will link that other video in the description box where I kind of did a 6-month analysis on my thoughts on it. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.